Hey guys, welcome back to Vertical Momentum. I'm your host, Richard Kaufman, also known as the Comeback Coach. Yes, it's a special Sunday edition of the Vertical Momentum podcast. Guys, if you've noticed, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everything is short form video nowadays. You could get a lot of people have long form, but everything is short form video is king right now. And we're going to be talking about why it's king with my brother, Gunny Gonzalez, my brother. How are you, brother?
Doing pretty good. I just actually got back from my second workout of the day at the gym, and so feeling pretty energetic, pretty relaxed right now.
I love it. And I got to give big shout out to Robert, the Warrior Strategist Garcia. He's the one that actually is sponsoring this episode with Shift Magazine. I was proud to be in the last episode. I can't wait for the next episode is out. And if you need PR, any kind of PR, Robert Garcia is the man, the myth, and the legend. So, Gunny, let's talk real quick. First question: what is your definition of resiliency?
Great question. I think I see resilience as just the ability to adapt from life circumstances, and I think even right now at my age, definitely reflecting upon everything that I've gone through from deployments to changes in career, COVID, and everything else. I think I've been able to adapt, and I'm in a position right now where I have the ability to help out people, not only from all walks of life, but business owners, veterans, and whatnot. And if you probably noticed some of the stuff that I've been working on my Facebook accounts, right? I'm just giving back to the community, aside from the things that I've been doing in the service and whatnot.
And I've had you on the show. I had you on the Facebook Live show about 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and that was before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you owned a bunch of gyms and you were heavily into the health and fitness industry. So, how hard was it to adapt and overcome, especially going through COVID?
Man, it was tough. It's just you never plan for these things. And I started, Gunny's boot camp back in 2015. By 2018, we were already up to like 4 gyms. Honestly, we're making almost close to $300,000 a year, and the chain was expanding. My initial goal, was to expand to 10 gyms up in Texas. Come, almost the end of 2019, going into 2020, we get hit by COVID, and it's just crazy how just everything stumbled. Everything spiraled down. It was really hard. It was tough. I definitely did put a good fight, in trying to make the gym sustainable. But I think it's just a combination of scarcity, economics, and just things that didn't go our way. And I made the decision to close down the gym back in 2023. And in July, that's, I said, you know what? I've dedicated about 9 years to the business, taking care of my clients. And I just, put out the message, hey, it is what it is. I'm going to transition out, do something else. And so it was hard. It was hard. But one thing that I at least for me, from, military service and whatnot, I've had the opportunity and the doors open to me to come back and do certain things. And so that's where, I made the ultimate decision, moving from my hometown, Laredo, Texas, to Dallas, Texas now, where I'm, here stationed. And I've actually decided to make this my permanent home of residence. And, same mindset, I've always enjoyed entrepreneurship, being a business owner. And so I just diversified from, fitness coaching, online coaching, to now media production. And I think that's where it's at nowadays.
Okay, but now since we know that social media changes sometimes week by week, sometimes day by day, 5 years ago, there was no such thing as short form video. So, how did you get into the crazy world of mastering short form video?
Very interesting question. So if you guys don't know a little bit about my background, right? Around 2022, I was running for city mayor in my hometown. And there was two things after the after actions, right? Everything happened. I out of the 10 candidates that ran, I ended up landing in 5th or 6th place. But there was 2 things that people told me. They're like, hey, 1, you're a little bit too young to be running for mayor. And then 2, you're just not too visible on the platform, social media. So we recommend that you put yourself out there a little bit more. With that, obviously the intention was to again run for mayor, which is about this coming year might be an opportunity to, maybe take another leap at running for city mayor in Laredo back in 2026. But that's when I decided to say, hey, you know what? Instead of me having to hire videographers or hire different companies to take the pictures and all that, I'm gonna just do this by myself. And what started off as an idea eventually became a business, because I started noticing trends, right? From Alex Hormozy, just people who are out there in the space right now who are just killing it with social media and shorts, TikToks, and reels. So I figured, man, this is good. This is a good idea, a good opportunity to jump into, because, 1, I had already experienced the fatigue of, running a brick and mortar gym, being stuck to that gym all the time, to now where I can literally pick up my camera, travel from, the East Coast to the West Coast. And guess what? I'm not tied down to a location. I still get to travel. I still get to be, flexible and remote with my time. And so even right now, if you look at this office that I'm sitting here, and, obviously I'm not going to do that, move the camera around, throw us out of place, but I have an entire studio set up here. So I can eventually, create podcasts here, do video shoots, do all these things. And, I'm pretty sure you've seen it with Ted Fox. You've seen it with the realtors. You've seen it with, different people, even yourself, right? You shot the video, send it over to me. I work on getting these videos edited, and then I shoot them back, and it's a done deal. And I mean, there's really good profit margins on this. But I think the biggest thing that I like to convey to people all the time is like, hey, like if you are on social media and you own a business, you need to be consistently posting your stuff, just because at the end of the day, me running a business and a gym, I understood right away that, hey, I need to be putting my market, my services and my products out there. If you're not doing so, then how do you expect for people to buy from you if you're not making your offers, if you're not consistently posting, if you're not consistently, following up with your clients or people who are interested in wanting, your products and services? So I was always a big firm believer in marketing, but I decided to take it up an extra notch by implementing now video production, because I just wanted to, again, put myself out there. And I noticed, this was an actual problem for business owners that have brick and mortar locations, or, maybe they sell a product or service, or coaches, consultants, whatever the case may be. Everybody nowadays needs video. They need to put themselves out there. It's just, I think it's just very important. And I put this to the test multiple times with multiple clients already. And again, perfect example, right? Ted Fox, owner of Scooters Garage, Marine Corps veteran. We have conversations all the time. And from when we started about 3 or 4 months ago to where he's at now, he's already tapped into a very specific market in his niche, in his community. And man, I can tell you, I'm just so happy for him. He's already attained about 52 clients, made over $16,000 in actual profit, cash in pocket. And of course, we provided the strategy, and we provided, the blueprint for him to continue to succeed. And so I cannot stress this enough. I tell everybody who is running a business, who is out there trying to make a name for themselves, you need to be on video. You need to be putting out your message. People need to see you. People just need to be more consistent, and they're not. And yesterday I was at a conference, and it was the perfect example. I think the biggest thing that a lot of business owners have is they have the problem that they're wearing all the hats in their business, right? They're the marketer, they're the salesman, they're the the closer. They do all these things. They focus on all the operations versus, hey, I need to have a team and I need to delegate all these responsibilities, right? And sometimes people figure it out. Some people don't. And so I think personally, like my services is like, hey, yes, I do offer the shorts, the TikToks, the reels, all these things for you. But other than just that, I'm actually there behind the scenes telling you, hey, these are the hashtags you need to use. This is what you need to be posting. This is how you're going to follow up with people. This is how you're going to do X, Y, and Z. Why? Because it's going to help you win. My philosophy, my mission here is very simple. Anybody who comes and works with me, I want you to win. It's not just about me being a videographer, a marketer. No, I'm here to be the left hand or the right hand for your business to make sure that, hey, you focus on your superpower. If your superpower is, sales or traveling or doing whatever it is that you needs to get done for your client, then hey, let me focus here on the back end, which is, hey, promoting your business through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, we're there, we can get it done. But it's just a less stress for you because we're here to make sure we're monitoring all these, the videos, how they're performing. I don't focus only on views. I also focus on like, hey, how many clients did you get to talk to today? How many people did you convert? How much money did you actually, put in your pocket? Because again, people don't understand this, or maybe they don't, I call them entrepreneurs, right? Like, hey, maybe you want to have a business, or maybe you want to pretend to be a business owner, but pretending is not going to pay the bills, right? Pretending is not going to get you anywhere. So you need to be consistent. You need to be, putting all the hard work into this. And so, as you can see, I'm very passionate about this. I have a lot of passion for this business just because, again, it has helped me grow and develop myself as an individual. But the people that I've been able to help out and the people that I've been able to, cater to, understand that I'm there for their best interest, and I think I've been able to reciprocate that to numerous clients now that, you see it little by little, right? And it's amazing. It's amazing to be able to do that and just, give back and support the community. And again, as a, somebody who's still in the service, active duty, yes, it might be a little bit time consuming, but I don't mind investing my time in what I enjoy doing, which is media production. And hopefully eventually, I have more plans to continue building upon this. Definitely, I do want to focus on building a podcast later on in the future. And maybe, right, and this is still up in the works, I have a specific idea for a magazine or something that I eventually want to build up upon as well, because I think that marketing for me and videography, photography is where it's at.
And I love it. And I want to give a big shout out to Mark Dudek. A big shout out to Jim. Thank you guys for hopping on. Make sure you share this out. But now, again, Gun, I'm on social media all day. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I go to, I log off at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. So I'm on social all day. And there's people that put out video, and then there's people that put out bad video. So what are some of the mistakes that you see people making today, besides just, going to one of these cheap sites and just dropping the link in and it pops out 10 or 15 little clips? What are some of the mistakes you see people using? Because even like when you told me to send you a couple videos, you said make sure that you have either a high quality camera or a high quality new iPhone or something that's really, really high quality. Because sometimes, if you're going to send out bad quality videos, it's just going to be bad quality, right?
Correct. And that's the thing. You can't compare apples to oranges, right? Like you have a cell phone and maybe that cell phone is very outdated. It could be an iPhone 6, iPhone 7. You can't compare it to an iPhone 14, iPhone 16, where the quality of the lens is way more advanced, right? Same thing when you're trying to compare an iPhone with a professional camera. I don't care if the camera, it could be a Sony ZV-10, it's worth $800. You can't compare a camera to a cell phone. The quality is just going to be very different. And that's the thing that I tell people all the time. Like, yes, we can shoot the videos with a cell phone. We can shoot it with a camera as well. But if you don't have the money to, purchase a camera or hire a videographer, then yeah, your cell phone, you can always implement your cell phone, use your cell phone, as long as you adjust the settings on the cell phones. Now, one thing that I have noticed a lot right now, and I think this is something that it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, right? People have now been implementing AI, right? There's all these applications and systems that, you plug in the information and they'll develop a video, or they'll put in like captions or emojis or whatever the case may be. And here's the problem with that. I'm not saying it's not good or that it's not going to work. It'll get the job done. But if you're looking for something to be more professional, if you're looking for something a little bit more high end with like transitions, effects, emojis, like more of, you're trying to paint the picture, and you're trying to get, clients or people to actually stick around to watch that video, then I'm going to tell you, there's a reason why videographers are still going to be here for the next 5 to 10 years, or probably even longer, because you just can't compete with AI. They can't compete with us. And so I see people all the time like, yeah, I put a lot of information out there like, hey, do this or do that, or use this or use that. But, AI is not going to do, what we can do as videographers and as editors, right? And so I've even tested out Sora. I've tested out DALL-E, and I've tested out several high-end applications. They're not the same. I've used captions. I think I even posted it out there a few months ago. I was like, hey guys, like, I get it. If you cannot afford to hire somebody that can do very high-end quality professional editing, you can use Opus Clips. You can use the application called Captions. It's like $60 for the whole year or whatever. I think I don't know if it's a lifetime membership or whatever. But here's the thing. Since I know how to edit, I know how to, add all these effects and emojis onto these videos, and I know specifically what it's going to take for people to pay attention or stay on that video, then I tell people, like, you cannot compete with that. And that's where I separate myself from AI, because one, I am putting a lot of creativity onto this, which I'm not saying, or I'm not taking away from AI. It's just, at least for me, it's not the same quality. Now, here's another point, right? And we talk about this all the time. People like doing business with people. They have to, you have to build trust with them. They have to like you, and they, eventually they're going to want to work with you, right? Build like trust. And so I don't think AI is ever going to do that. You can put out there 10, 15 videos with AI, and yes, it might paint the picture. It make the process easier. It might save you some money. But if you're consistently putting stuff out there that's just AI related, they're not going to know who you are. They're not going to know what you're all about. They're not going to know about your mission, values, and whatnot. And so, if I'm seeing somebody, let's say an example of a roofer who's consistently posting just AI stuff about roofing, and I see somebody who's posting stuff about themselves, and they're educating the community, they're providing value, they're talking about how they can help you solve the problem of, a leaky roof or a worn out roof or whatever the case may be, then nine out of 10 chances is I'm probably going to hire somebody that is there that I can talk to, because AI is not going to do it's not going to be able to do that. So again, I'm not saying I'm against AI. I'm all for it if it's going to make your job easier and maybe save you some money. But all I will say is that I have personally tested out AI videos, and they don't get the same amount of views for quality of responses that people think they will. And that's why I'm all against that, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it, right? There's applications out there now that literally you can create an entire avatar of yourself, and you just see the lips moving, but it's AI. So you can tell right away. I've seen these applications. I don't like them. I would prefer to do this right now, just because, again, I'm, conveying my emotions, my tonality, all these things that really, I think, matter to people, in my opinion.
And and I agree. Now, like, so far in my career, I've spent over $100,000 in learning. I've taken over 60 courses on LinkedIn by themselves, and especially on social media. And if you don't capture somebody's attention in the first 3 to 5 seconds, you're never getting them back. or if you don't catch them in your title, they're not coming back. They're just going to swipe. So how important is that first 3 to 5 seconds?
Oh, I think it's very important, and actually, this is actually a very good topic, right? And I see this all the time. They don't have a proper hook, right? Which is something to get the people engaged on the video when it starts. They're not providing enough value or educating people, which is, pretty much the center of the video. And then, of course, a CTA. What's a CTA? Call to action. Hey, book a call, shoot me a DM, message me, or you prompt them. And I think that this is where a lot of people are leaving money on the table, right? I see it all the time. They don't have a good hook. They don't have a proper body. They don't know what they're talking about specifically, or they're just jumping all over the place, and then they just end the video and they're not like leaving a call to action. They're not messaging. They're not directing their potential prospects or clients to tell them like, hey, this is what you need to do next. And I think a lot of us are now so used to seeing, hey, this is a good catchy hook. We stay engaged. We're listening to what's going on. Maybe there's a problem. Hey, maybe I need to lose 15 pounds. Or, hey, I'm a business owner. I'm struggling. I need more leads. Hey, this is what you need to do next. If you want to grow your business, hey, shoot me a DM, message me. I do it all the time. And I can tell you, people don't do that. People don't do that. And they're just consistently just leaving money on the table. And that's the biggest struggle that I see with business owners. One, they don't know what to post. They don't know what hooks to come up with. And then, of course, their lack of, leaving a call to action. So definitely leaving money on the table.
Yeah, and like I was talking to Ted the other day, and between me and you, I think his YouTube videos have gone up 18% just by putting the right hashtags in the right place, the right amount of hashtags. If you got 40 hashtags, guys, YouTube is just going to be like, no, thank you, you're spammy. We're just gonna put you all the way at the back. So how important are knowing or having somebody in their corner like you that knows the hashtags, how many hashtags, where they go, and what hashtags to use? Because I know that if I only use short tail keywords, I'll get views, but I'm not going to get a lot of views. But if I use short term and long term keywords, I'll get a lot more views. So how important is it to have somebody in your corner like you to tell me, okay, this is where this needs to go here, this needs to go here? How important is it? Because nobody's going to tell you. Nobody's going to tell you.
Yeah, no, it's important. And I think that this is where I think a lot of people don't understand. They just think like, hey, he's just going to, we're going to send him the videos and then he's just going to edit them and send them back. Like, no, we do more than just editing the videos. Like we come up with the strategies, like the keywords, the scripts, everything, right? And going back to those hashtags, it's very simple. It is very time consuming, right? We do spend the time looking at videos that are trending based on hashtags. And then we start, pretty much compiling a library of like, okay, this hashtag produced, X amount of views, X amount of responses. So we start using those hashtags and we start placing them in different videos. And guess what? They start performing. They start doing the same thing. And yeah, I see it all the time. There's a lot of people who do like, I don't know, 15, 20 hashtags. And I'm like, what's the point? Just stick to 2 to 3 basic hashtags. You don't have to make it so complicated. Obviously use, the correct hashtag so that when people are looking for maybe a mechanic or a videographer or, a PR strategist or whatever the case may be, as soon as they type that into the QE or whatever, whatever platform they're on, it's going to link them up. It's going to push up that conversation. And so, yeah, I mean, it's important. And this is, I think, where we've been able to capitalize a lot with like Tanner Milner, even, I don't know if you saw, there was the video we did for Rob Garcia, right? I think his video has gone up to like 45,000 views and it got him 18 solid leads, leads that literally because of that video got interested in saying, hey, you know what? I really like the quality of your work and what you've been able to do based on the story we painted with that video. And man, 18 leads is not bad at all. You know what I mean? And then same thing with Ted. Right now with Ted, to be very specific, right? So Ted is in an area where it's a combination of, different cultures and whatnot. And we started testing out working with, reaching out to Hispanics. And I told them in the beginning when we initially started doing the shoots, we're like, hey, like Ted, I think even if your English is a little bit broken, I would highly recommend that you practice a little bit of Spanish, or we do a few Spanish videos. And he didn't believe me. He was a little bit skeptical, right? He was like, I don't think it's gonna work. And I'm like, just trust me. Let's test it out. Let's see how the market responds. Man, he's been blowing up like crazy. Blowing up like crazy. He's like, I think even that initial video that we did from him, based on our last conversation as well, has at least over 100,000 views. And people from all over the world have seen this video. Again, over 52 clients have already generated. As far as his pipeline, I think he mentioned as well, people who are actually pending to purchase his products, his services or whatnot, is ranging between $30,000 to $40,000. So what I can tell you from this is that everything that we do works. Yes, posting text is okay. Some people are going to read through it, but if they're not interested in whatever you're talking about, they're just going to scroll through. But if you're doing a video and it has a catchy hook and you're educating them about podcasting or, any other type of service that you have there, and you're telling them, hey guys, there's the reason why I'm doing this podcast, right? This is how it's helped me. If you're interested in doing so, hey, call to action, reach out to me, right? And again, I mean, I can tell you right now, and behind the scenes, right, we've had conversations where I'm already planning on eventually building a podcast soon, and this is something that I eventually want to, get into. But I think, obviously I'm being very smart and I'm being very strategic about it, just because right now I know it's not my time. I understand that, podcasting is time consuming. It's not easy, but again, baby steps, right? And that's how I've begun to build my business, and it's growing. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited with where we're headed at, how many people we're continuing to help. Right now, it's some exciting times. I know for a fact, obviously we're going to be producing some videos for you. We're going to, we just got done producing videos for Joe Nicasio, and we've got Dallas Poor, his nonprofit, where we're working on his nonprofit videos as well. And even Mark Dudek, a bunch of veterans. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to do this kind of work with them, and, just helping them grow more than anything, and just be out there visible to the current market.
So then how do we get in your ecosystem if we want to hire you, or how do we find you, and how can we reach out to you?
So right now, my primary go-to account is Facebook. I'm under Gus Gonzalez. You can look me up there. I do have a Instagram account, but I'm not too active on that yet. And I want to eventually transition over to that, and TikTok. I do have a LinkedIn account as well, and I'm going to start building up my YouTube channel as well. So it's getting there little by little. But yes, if anybody's interested in reaching out to me, they can always, feel free to shoot me a DM. If they need to talk to me, we can always do a Zoom call. I'm open to that. Even phone calls. I'm open to all that. I think my biggest thing is just like, I'm here to serve. I'm here to help, and anything I can help you guys do to be successful or grow your businesses, and thrive. That's our mission. That's our goal.
Yeah. And guys, remember, if you need any kind of PR, Robert the Warrior Strategist Garcia is your guy. He's starting to blow up now with his premium services. So if you need PR, you need to get in now, because he's growing up. He's going so big, you might not get a chance if you don't get in now, because his new premium service is on fire. Gus, my brother, I just want to say thank you. I'm truly humbled that we got to hang out this Sunday evening, and I'm so grateful for your friendship all these years.
Appreciate you. Likewise, man. Thank you.
I love it. And guys, remember, like I always says at the end of every show, every morning you wake up, you get a choice. You can be a victor, or you could be a victim. If you watch this show, you're no longer victims of your past. You're victors of your present and your future. And I love you guys, and I'm so grateful for you. And remember, vertical momentum, the only way to go is up. I love you guys. Have an amazing Sunday. Gus, I'm sure we'll be on the phone in the next couple days. I love you, and I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Be good.